Good evening. I am your host, Stuart Blanchet, and I welcome you once again to another episode of Giles Tenderworth's Monsters in the Dark. Episode 21, The Chupacabras. There are many creatures that hide on the edges of our society, and when all is well, we hear not of them. Many of these beasts are strange to our human senses, and most are simply doing their best to survive. Consider how we treat vampire bats or Therididae, and then wonder, is it any surprise that they avoid us? The skeptics do not believe in many of these creatures, preferring to malign it as part of the collective human imagination. How else do you explain the lack of physical evidence, they cry? How else do you explain the many forms of certain creatures, such as the Chupacabras? The study of Chupacabras in natural habitat is one of great interest to scholars of the Lodge. It is believed that the Chupacabras spread their eggs to every landmass very early in our planet's cycle, as far back perhaps as the Cambrian period. Studies of their eggs show that, no matter how old the egg may appear, they require very specific conditions to hatch: a hot, dry climate, a long period of rainlessness, and plenty of oxygen in the air. The individual Chupacabras does not last very long, as it appears to be a very short-lived species. The younglings mature after barely 3 years, and the females often die giving birth to 2 or 3 eggs. The males do their best to nurture the young as they can, but their voracious appetites often make the males their last easy meal. This after a birth that is both difficult for the species and intensely difficult for us to witness due to their natural defenses. Chupacabras emit a strong pheromone that causes visions and hallucinations in most creatures on this earth. Their eggs are filled with it, an amniotic hallucinogenic that causes any that might witness their births to be driven into death through insanity. After about a month, they produce this pheromone on their own and seek out an omnivorous diet, able to eat nearly any plant or animal that it can get its claws into. The reports of Chupacabras attacks are likely due to poor hunting during their mating cycle in those parts of the world, when they must seek out greater sources of proteins necessary for the production of their pheromone. The triangular teeth marks distinctive to the Chupacabra species are actually the feeding teeth of females with child, not apparent during the infancy of these creatures. When cornered, they will do as any animal in their position would, and make themselves bigger, which can be truly terrifying when combined with their hallucinogenic pheromone. Over all of the monsters that we cover in this series, the Chupacabras are likely the least dangerous to humans. Our diets do not make us appealing targets, as we do not offer them the vitamins and minerals that they need. Do not mistake me, however. Chupacabras can certainly be deadly, especially when cornered, but how can that not be said for any other animal? Should you come across chupacabra eggs, looking about the size of your thumb in both width and length, whether they look ancient or new, douse them in cold running water. Better yet, throw it into the river. For should you bring a chupacabras young to term, you, as its male parent, may find that it needs more than you can offer, and you may inadvertently give it a taste for human flesh. Fare thee well into the dark. Give your neighbour no reason to wish you ill, for they, like so many others creatures on this earth, are likely simply trying to survive. Until next time, I've been your host, Stuart Blanchet. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you in the next episode of Giles Tenderworth's Monsters in the Dark. Please take the time to like and subscribe to our channel, and do check out our Kickstarter when you have a moment, already a third of the way through. Thank you again for joining us. Until next time, good night.